And welcome to this segment right here at TIA's 2016 Spring Policy Summit. We're speaking with Chris Greer. He's Senior Executive of CyberPhysical Systems at the National Institute of Science and Technology. And Chris, welcome to the segment.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to join you.
Well, thanks for being here. So CyberPhysical Systems, is that another term for the Internet of Things?
Yeah, one of the real challenges, of course, in the Internet of Things is deciding what does that really mean? What's included in that? And what's the market for that, given that definition? That's one of the areas that we're working in at NIST on cyber-physical systems, is what exactly, how would you define that? And that's what our framework effort is about. What are the characteristics, the key principles for any cyber-physical system, including Internet of Things? For a cyber-physical system, there are really three characteristics that we're interested in. They're hybrids of information and operational technologies. They're co-designed. And finally, they're predictive and adaptive to enhance performance in real time. So those are the general characteristics. And Internet of Things is the subset of that focuses on devices not traditionally connected to the Internet, your toaster, your refrigerator, your car, right? And machine-to-machine interactions as opposed to person-to-person interactions.
Now, you were working on an IoT framework draft in 2014. You released that in 2015. What was the general response to that draft?
We had a terrific response. We released it in the fall for 90 days for public comments. We got a little over 400 comments of real substance. And so the working group, which is a volunteer group of technical experts from around the world, are working on those comments today. And we expect to publish version 1.0 of that document by the end of April.
Now, there's a final framework to be released. Oh, so the end of April would be the final framework. That wouldn't be a draft. That would be the final.
Exactly. Version 1.0, I say version 1.0 because we consider this a living document. The Internet of Things is evolving as we're speaking, and this document is intended to move with that. So we'll start with version 1.0 in April as what we think to be a comprehensive view of the technical dimensions of an Internet of Things application, and then continue to evolve that as the technology and the market continue to evolve.
So obviously security is becoming a bigger issue as far as the Internet of Things goes, and really all the technologies that attach themselves to IoT. NIST is also working on a cybersecurity framework. What is your view of cybersecurity and that framework in the midst of the Internet of Things?
The Cybersecurity Framework, like our Cyber-Physical Systems framework, is also a living document. It's been evolved several times now, and it continues to move with the technologies as well. It's getting very good uptake in the government, in government systems, but also in the private sector and critical infrastructure systems. And it's important as the foundation for cybersecurity and Internet of Things applications. But it's really only a beginning. As many have noted in this conference today, cybersecurity is a critical feature of Internet of Things applications because these systems have real-world implications for safety and critical functions. And so that's the threat side of the equation. We also have to consider, though, the mitigation side of the equation. And so in addition to this sort of information technology provisions in the framework, we need safety engineering, resilience engineering, and reliability engineering in the operational technologies or the engineered systems. And we need to join those things up in a comprehensive understanding of what we call trustworthiness, the degree to which a system will perform the functions it's intended to do under all circumstances. That's a function not just of whether it's secure to hacking and cyber threats, but whether it's safe, resilient, and reliable in the real world. And that's what we're working on today, combining those fields in a trustworthiness concept.
Chris, there's a big push, as you know, for smart city connectivity. The Department of Transportation is behind this push. NIST, of course, is behind this as well, and it really trickles down from the administration, from the White House as well. Is this a concerted effort from the top down?
Indeed, and in some sense also from the bottom up. It's a response from the top down, but the demand is coming from the bottom up, from cities and communities, not just in the United States, but around the world, all of whom are looking for the ability of advanced technologies to increase the efficiency of city government, to improve the environment and the sustainability of the environment, and to improve the quality of life and grow the economy, provide new jobs. So these technologies are Internet of Things applications that could be applied to transportation, to communications, healthcare, and so on. But for a smart city goal, such as disaster resilience, the important thing is to be able to connect infrastructures one to another, to manage simultaneously your communications, your transportation, your first responders. That's a very horizontal look at infrastructures. That's an Internet of Things concept. And so we believe that by pursuing common standards and interoperability provisions for Internet of Things solutions, we can enable advanced smart city technologies that join infrastructures together rather than requiring that each of them operate independently.
Now, are you referring to the Global City Teams Challenge, or is that a separate initiative?
Global City Teams Challenge is one part of our Smart Cities effort. We're moving forward on two fronts. One is on a basic understanding of the technologies for smart city applications. That's our Smart City Framework effort. At the same time, we want to make sure that the technology concepts that emerge from this effort are useful in real life, that they can be applied to cities and communities of all shapes and sizes. That's what the Global City Teams Challenge is about. A challenge in the past has been that individual smart city implementations at individual cities are one of a kind. They're custom designed, not interoperable, can't use it anywhere else. The Global City Teams Challenge is intended to overcome that market limitation, to put cities together around a common goal. Maybe it's environmental quality, maybe it's citizen services, but a team of cities that share that goal. Ask those cities to describe their requirements in meeting those goals that would be shared across all of those cities, and then put together teams of innovators who have technology solutions they believe could satisfy that requirement at all of the cities on the team. So the goal there is to provide smart city solutions that can be applied in many different cities, and that also provide measurable benefits to the residents of those communities. So interoperability and replicability and benefits to citizens.
I'm going to ask you an additional question based on something that I heard in an earlier session at the Spring Policy Summit here. Somebody said that the role of various government agencies is maybe unclear from the industry's perspective. I want to ask you from commercial perspective, from industry's point of view, what is NIST's role in the Internet of Things?
So in many respects, we provide a common technical foundation that can be applied in any application. I think that's important for understanding that a given technology may be useful not just in the energy sector, but in communications, in transportation applications, and elsewhere. But also to act as a convener for industry, for agencies, and for cities and communities. So in our Global City Teams Challenge, our partners include corporate counterparts, both large global firms like AT&T, Intel, IBM, GE, and others, but also small startups and entrepreneurs with individual technologies. And a variety of federal agencies that today includes the Department of Transportation, the National Science Foundation, the International Trade Administration, Census, a variety of others as well. So you can see we're all able to convene around a common effort where cities are the driver. They tell us what it is they're trying to achieve, and we try to provide the path forward for pursuing those goals.
Chris, thanks for your time.
Sure, thank you.